Doc Venablis, Lila, you are a gem. Unfortunately, trying to convince the S workers about monogamy is like trying to sell an alcoholic on sobriety. It will take a miracle, so keep at it.
Can I say something? I'm a monogamous. Like, I only have done this ever with my own boyfriend. I'm Republican. I'm not into sleeping around with people that aren't my boyfriend. If I have a boyfriend or my boyfriend, girls that aren't my boyfriend.
I don't think they were talking about you.
No,
that's not what it was about.
What was it about?
They said the corn stars. Yeah.
I think
but he said the blonde and the right.
I think the point is so much.
I think he's talking to me.
The point about the monogamy is more about marriage in terms of your body is sacred and beautiful and reserved for someone else, and that would include not just actual sex acts, but it would include showing your body, pornography or sending sexual videos or things like that to anyone else outside of the marriage. And I think monogamy, the research proves that people who are sexually intimate before marriage are more likely to divorce.
If you look at the history
reason
of
we're sharing
art, it's all girls being naked, and then the research is all being real, which wasn't even real. So.
Oh my God, bro, shut up. Okay, that's gonna get us in trouble.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, it's not.
That's
it's
true.
not.
That's
it's,
the truth.
It's
me and you have the same core values. We're just at a disagreement of we don't see it the same way.
Well, I think that would be different core values.
No, it's not, because who did you vote for?
We just move on.
I don't think it has to do with who we vote for.
Because we voted for the same person.
So you guys don't have same values because you believe in something.
No, she just doesn't understand what I'm saying.
There's a difference between politics and core values. There's a huge difference. You can vote, you can be Republican and not have traditional core values.
But I do have traditional
but you don't have traditional core values.
You don't know of.
I do know that because you do OnlyFans, so that doesn't make you have traditional core values. That's not what you could be a Republican.
I'm not judging you based on your job.
I don't do OnlyFans. I'm not judging you based on your job.
But just because of your job doesn't make you a traditional.
Well, doing OnlyFans doesn't make you traditional.
And here's the thing: I can never, and I would never judge your heart, because only God can see the heart. But what we're talking about is actions and, dating and relationships. That's what this podcast is about. And the point we're trying to make here is that at large has been a menace to society.
I don't consider myself.
Finish for a second. It leads to divorce. It leads to addiction. It has led to the proliferation of a lot of sexual brokenness and deviancy, broken relationships. And so, part of the message is let's be the change we want to see out there in the world. And I want happiness for you. I want you to have that marriage you dream of. I think that many people want that. And the path to that, I believe, is pursuing virtue and love. And that's a choice that includes self-control in not just how we behave with other people, but how we make money. Because if we're making money through selling pictures of our bodies to incite lust in other people, that's going to ultimately, I don't think, set you up for happiness. And I want you to be happy. I want you to have that future marriage that you desire.
Well, I'm sorry that you don't think I'm a happy person.
Well, I think what you're saying is you want to be married.
Yeah, because you said you want me to be happy.
She's just giving you sound motherly advice.
I understand that, but I'm going to listen to God and I'm going to follow my own path. And that doesn't have to have anything to do with your path, but that doesn't mean I don't have a spiritual connection with God.
I never
that
said
I'm not
you didn't have a spiritual connection.
But you're debating me because of I hope happiness for you in the future. I'm good.
Well, I think you want to get married.
We're on different paths, though. We're on different paths. It doesn't mean that I'm not a child of God, or I don't pray, or I don't have connection with God.
Of course you're a child of God.
And it's a little bit judgmental.
Yeah, of course you're a child of God. I'm speaking to, I think what you're saying is you desire marriage, right?
But I will not settle for marriage. That's the thing.
No one's
and I don't care if it happens tomorrow at 47, as long as I'm happy in the long run. And it's not about what I'm doing. It's on my path that God put me on. And you are on a completely different path that God put you on.
Christy, I don't think anyone's saying any of the stuff you think we're saying about you.
Okay,
God speaks through people. Okay. It's possible God may be trying to speak to you through Lila, who's married with kids. You said that's something you desire. And I think you're doing a lot of projecting of what you think we're saying, and we're not saying 95% of what you think we're saying.
I actually think the opposite.
I think she's just kind of
you guys are projecting on me.
Yeah, I think everyone just has their own opinion. And
I think we have all the same beliefs.
I think
and you're projecting on me because
God
of my
loves
job.
everyone.
I think Lila just
Jesus
coming
loves you.
Can we just?
So Adam,
I think we need to wrap this up.
I think Lila just coming from a place like she desires marriage, you desire marriage, and I think she's just giving you like motherly sound advice. I don't think anyone here is like attacking you.
No, and I don't
trying
think
to be
Chrissy thinks
cruel or
anyone's attacking
provocative.
her. It's everyone has their own spiritual path, and she's my best friend. Like I know what she wants. We meditate together. We talk about God together. Like everyone's on their own path, and
It's true.
And I think like you're kind of projecting your path on me, and my path is completely different than that. That doesn't mean I don't have a godly perspective or connection or anything.
Yeah.
So
I have a
just don't
question.
project
I've
it
got
on
a
me.
question for you two, maybe you three. Is it a sin to shoot? Is it a sin?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Which commandment is that?
Sins,
I just read
sins. Wait.
Well,
sins can be forgiven. You
Of
just
course,
go to church.
Of course, they
But-
can be.
but
Thank
isn't
God
there
for that, because
something
I'm a
to be
sinner.
said?
And I actually don't think it's a sin. I'm just shooting a reality show with my boyfriend that people are paying for.
By reality show, do you mean like, like what do you?
People are paying to see what me and my boyfriend, he's not my ex-boyfriend, but me and my boyfriend were doing behind closed doors. People are gonna pay. People pay for the dumbest fucking things ever.
But that's porn. That's not reality TV.
So the reason
It's the reality of my
Adam
life, and if
shoots a
people
bunch
want to
of
pay to
reality
see the
TV.
reality of my life,
Here's-
I don't care.
The question
Here's
is it a sin?
Yes,
is what
it's
he
a sin.
asked.
And-
It's
and
the
just-
ultimate
and just-
question.
Sins can all be forgiven, and
of course,
Yeah,
of
but
course.
don't you need
Just-
to like, if you're trying to be a godly person, don't you need to make an effort
no,
to stop
but if
sinning?
you're, how am I sinning if I'm only hooking up with one man and we're talking about
and
monogamy?
let me just
and it's
explain,
my
because I
boyfriend?
think it can be maybe confusing, especially our society's so pornified, and like sexual objectification is everywhere. It's in advertisements, it's in movies, it's everywhere. But the reason looking at porn or making porn is a sin is because of lust, and you're either in.
I'm not in porn, I'm in
Let me
OnlyFans.
just finish really quick. And you're either intentionally creating content to get someone to masturbate and lust, or you are doing the and lusting.
They're already
And
doing that.
The reality is, like the design, like God's design, is that sex is for unity and procreation. It's for unity between two people to be emotionally bonded, pair bonded, in
I
love,
was very
connected,
emotionally bonded
and then
with
in
him,
addition to be able
'cause
to
he was
bring
my
life into the
boyfriend.
world, because sex can do that. And one of the reasons, Ruslan kind of mentioned this earlier a little bit, but one of the reasons the statistic hasn't been shared yet at this table, but there's 2,500 abortions a day in this country. The reason we have this sky-high
I've
number...
never had a
let me just
pregnancy
finish.
scare in my life.
The reason we have this sky-high number is because people don't take sex seriously enough. They think sex is just like a recreational thing they'll do. It doesn't have to do with commitment and marriage. And so people get pregnant because they're having sex when they're not committed, and then they choose. So it
have
leads
to
to all
disagree
these,
with
other,
that.
all these other problems.
Yeah.